This episode of the Fiction Writers Podcast is brought to you by How to Write a Novel That Sells. Do you dream of writing a best-selling fiction novel? With the right tools, you could get there sooner than you think. Visit www.howtowriteanovelthatsells.com and unlock the secrets to writing compelling fiction taught by international best-selling author Lana McAra. Welcome to the Fiction Writers Podcast with Lana McAra, where you will discover tips, tricks, and ideas for fiction that is #unputdownable. Here you'll find new energy, new perspectives, new resources, and new ideas that will spark your creativity into a blaze of brilliance. It's easier than you think. Be sure you visit our website at www.fictionwriterspodcast.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now, get out your notebook, tune in, and let's get started.
Where do you live? The answer to that question tells a whole lot more than just your address. My name is Lana McAra, and welcome to the Fiction Writers Podcast. Tips, tricks, and ideas that make your fiction unputdownable. Where you live. That is something that everyone in a novel, every writer, has to talk about. Where do their characters live? But there's so much richness there. And I want to explore for just a little bit here the different levels. So where does the person live? What neighborhood? And if you think about that, it's kind of like a real estate ad, right? The neighborhood, the square footage, the number of bedrooms, the number of bathrooms, all that. Well, that's a given. But how did they buy their house? Did they get a regular mortgage? Or maybe they paid cash? Or maybe they made a deal and they're paying the previous owner payments? Or maybe it's rent to own or something else. How did they buy the house? How did they get access to it? Or maybe they're a renter. Maybe they're working off the rent by being a maintenance person for something. That happens all the time. What is the financial arrangement for this place? And what does that say about them? If this person is working off the rent as a handyman, well, there you go. He's a handyman. She's a handyman, whoever. What condition was it in when they bought it? Was it brand new? Did they build the house themselves? Did they have a contractor build the house? Or maybe they just bought a new house that nobody had ever lived in before, but they didn't actually build it themselves. Or maybe it is a historic home and they want to renovate it. Or maybe it's a house that is falling in and they just want to save some money and make the repairs themselves. How did it look when they first saw it? Now, you're not going to necessarily need to go into all those details, but one or two details would inform your reader a whole lot about the person's character and personality and their skill sets, right? So what about the furnishings? Were the furnishings already there? Did they buy the house as is with everything in it? Or maybe they love Facebook Marketplace, or maybe they love going to thrift stores and refurbishing furniture. Or maybe they hire a decorator who orders, from the best and biggest and brightest. How did they get the furnishings? And of course, the decor style is important and the focus of the home. Like, for example, an artist would have a room set aside somewhere full of light with all the art supplies. That is their focus. So they make space for it. Someone who is a technical person, maybe a programmer or something, is going to have a place for a large computer system and quiet and all that goes with it. Probably going to have a nice chair and all the things. So what is the focus of your character? That's going to inform what their house is like. If for example, just a cute little thing out of a book I read recently, where this man was a programmer for making games. He was a gaming programmer. And so his computer system filled half a room, had multiple monitors and all this stuff going on. His kitchen had almost nothing in it. The drawers were practically empty. So that's where his focus was, the gaming. For cooking, he probably just called out for pizza or something like that. So what is your character's focus? That is going to inform how the house is laid out and what the space is dedicated to. Super important. And again, you don't have to catalog anything. Give a couple of details that will let the reader know what this person is all about. And then let's move out. What about the yard? Is the yard manicured? Does that person take care of the yard themselves? Did they plant all the plants? Or they had a company come in? They have a yard person coming? Or maybe they don't. Maybe the yard is all grown up. Maybe there's 2 junk cars sitting on the back lot. What does it look like? And there's this whole scale back and forth. And then the cleanliness inside the house, the cleanliness outside the house. You know, cleanliness is a major deal because it really comes from our internal psychology, our subconscious. And so the amount of cleanliness, now a few dishes in the sink, that says something. No dishes anywhere and no appliances anywhere. That says something. Or the whole place just full of old cartons and moldy stuff and all of that. That goes with it. What about pets? Do they have pets inside? Do they have pets outside? What do the pets do to the house? Do the pets trash the house? Or is the house pretty good, even if pets are there? All of this is a way to demonstrate to your reader what this person's internal world is like without having to say what it is. You don't have to give a psychological profile. Their house will tell the reader what they need to know. I hope that helped you today. Thank you so much for stopping by to the Fiction Writers Podcast. My name is Lana McAra. Bye now.
Thank you for tuning into the Fiction Writers Podcast with Lana McAra, where we share tips, tricks, and ideas for fiction that is #unputdownable. Remember to visit our website at www.fictionwriterspodcast.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Fiction Writers Podcast.